Welcome today. I'm so glad you're here. I believe this message is going to speak directly to your heart. You may be facing challenges, feeling the weight of life pressing on your shoulders, wondering when relief will come, but I want you to know this: Allah is closer to you now than ever before. Sometimes we look at our pain and think it's the end. But with Allah, pain is never the end. It is often the beginning of the greatest transformation of your life. You see, Allah doesn't allow anything to come your way unless it has purpose. And when you hold on to faith, even when it hurts, even when you're tired, Allah begins turning that pain into strength, that loss into wisdom, that struggle into elevation. In Islam, we believe nothing happens without meaning. Every heartbreak, every setback, every disappointment, it all carries a hidden blessing. And when you trust Allah through the storm, you will come out not just surviving, but rising higher, stronger, wiser, and more powerful. So today, as we talk about this topic, Allah will turn your pain into power. Have faith. I want you to open your heart, because your breakthrough might just begin in this moment. When Allah allows pain into your life, it is never without intention. Pain is not a random event, nor is it a sign that you have been abandoned or overlooked. In reality, it is one of the greatest tools Allah uses to shape, strengthen, and elevate His servants. You may feel as though the weight you are carrying is too much, that the struggle you are facing has pushed you to the edge, but what you do not see is the transformation happening within you. Pain changes you in ways comfort never will. It stretches your heart, deepens your understanding, and purifies your intentions. Allah uses pain to prepare you for blessings you cannot yet see, opportunities you are not yet ready to handle, and levels of strength you never imagined you could reach. Sometimes you pray for growth, and Allah gives you challenges that require you to grow. You pray for strength, and He gives you situations that demand it. You ask for wisdom, and He takes you through experiences that teach you what books never could. Pain becomes the classroom for your soul, teaching lessons that ease cannot provide. Just like a seed must break before it can grow, you too must go through moments that feel like breaking. But that breaking is not destruction, it is transformation. A seed that never breaks never becomes a tree. A heart that never struggles never becomes strong. A soul that never experiences loss never learns how to truly appreciate what it has. Pain also reveals what is inside you. When everything is going well, it is easy to appear patient, grateful, and strong. But when life tests you, when you lose something, when someone hurts you, when a door closes, that is when your true strength begins to show. Allah allows pain to bring out qualities within you that you may not even know exist. You discover resilience you didn't realize you had, courage you didn't recognize, and faith deeper than you ever expected. Pain draws these qualities to the surface like fire purifies gold. It removes what's unnecessary and strengthens what is essential. You may not realize it, but painful moments are often moments of divine protection. Allah might remove people from your life because they would have harmed your peace. He might close a door because what was behind it was not meant for your spirit. He might stop a plan because it was beneath what He intends to give you. What feels like pain to you may actually be protection from Him. You only see the moment, but Allah sees the full story. He knows where every path leads, and sometimes He lets pain be the messenger that redirects you towards something better. Every experience you face is part of a larger design, a plan written with wisdom and wrapped in mercy. Pain becomes preparation for what is coming next. It becomes the training ground for future blessings, the foundation for new strength, and the beginning of a version of you that is wiser, stronger, and more spiritually grounded than before. Every hardship you encounter carries within it layers of hidden mercy and wisdom, even if your heart cannot see it at first. When a difficulty arrives, the natural response is to feel overwhelmed, confused, or even hurt. But what you experience on the surface is never the full story. Allah does not allow a single moment of hardship without embedding in it something beneficial for your soul, something that will shape you, guide you, or protect you in ways you don't yet understand. What feels like a burden may actually be a doorway, and what feels like a setback may be the seed of the greatest growth of your life. Hardship is not a sign of Allah's displeasure. It is often a sign of His deep care, because He uses challenges to lead you toward what will elevate you. Many times the wisdom within hardship is hidden, because if you saw the purpose too early, you wouldn't learn the lesson your soul needs. When life becomes difficult, you are forced to look inward, to reflect, to question, to grow. Hardship pushes you to become more patient, more aware, more grounded. It teaches you the value of things you once took for granted. It softens your heart so you can feel more deeply and understand more clearly. It humbles you so you no longer rely on your own strength alone. And it draws you closer to Allah because you realize that only He can truly guide you through the storms you face. The mercy within hardship is sometimes found in what Allah removes from your life. He might take something away to protect you from harm you couldn't see. A closed door might be saving you from walking into something that would have broken your spirit. A delayed plan might be shielding you from a path that was not part of your destiny. A disappointment might be preventing you from settling for less than what Allah has written for you. What feels like loss may actually be divine protection, and what feels like heartbreak may be the beginning of a better chapter being prepared for you. Other times, the wisdom comes from the strength you gain. You learn resilience because you have no choice but to endure. You learn gratitude because the struggle makes you appreciate the smallest blessings. You learn empathy because your own pain teaches you how to understand the pain of others. You learn how strong your faith can become because hardship forces you to rely on Allah in deeper, more sincere ways. These qualities do not develop in ease. They grow in the soil of struggle. There are moments when you look back at a hardship you once begged Allah to remove, and you realize it became the very thing that shaped your character, redirected your path, or opened your eyes. The wisdom was always there, but it revealed itself only when you were ready to see it. Hardship becomes a teacher, guiding you toward growth, maturity, and clarity. It becomes a reminder that this world is temporary, that your strength comes from Allah, and that every difficulty holds a mercy that will one day make perfect sense when you look back and understand why it had to happen. Your struggles are not signs of weakness or failure. They are signs that Allah is shaping you into a stronger believer in ways you may not yet understand. Every hardship you face is building something inside you that will serve you later: strength, patience, faith, resilience, and clarity. You may feel overwhelmed in the moment, but what you are experiencing is not random. It is part of a divine process where Allah is developing qualities within you that comfort could never produce. Ease can make you comfortable, but struggle makes you capable. Ease can make you grateful, but struggle makes you grounded. Ease can make you happy, but struggle makes you wise. Allah allows you to go through certain hardships because He knows exactly what you need to become the person you are meant to be. When life becomes heavy and you feel pressure from all directions, that pressure is shaping you. It is bending you without breaking you. It is forming you without harming you. It is teaching you how to stand firm, how to trust deeply, and how to move forward even when your heart is tired. You may think you're in a season of survival, but Allah is actually building the inner strength that will help you thrive in future seasons. Your struggles are like spiritual workouts. Each challenge exercises your patience. Each difficulty strengthens your faith. Each obstacle builds your resilience. Without these moments, you would remain at the same level, untested and unchanged. But Allah loves you too much to leave you as you are. He grows you through experiences that stretch your heart and expand your soul. Sometimes the hardships you face feel bigger than you, but that is because Allah is preparing you for responsibilities, blessings, and roles that are bigger than your current capacity. For you to handle what is coming, He must develop your inner structure. Just as a building needs a deeper foundation before more floors can be added, Your soul needs a stronger foundation before greater blessings arrive. The struggles you experience are digging that foundation. The tears you shed are watering the seeds of wisdom. The moments you feel lost are the moments Allah is guiding you toward deeper faith. Even when you feel like you are falling apart, you are actually falling into place in the plan Allah has written for you. Struggles also strip away illusions. When everything is going well, it's easy to think you're strong on your own. But hardship reminds you where your true strength lies. It humbles you, realigns your priorities, and pulls you closer to Allah in a way nothing else can. You learn to rely on Him with sincerity. You learn to make dua from the depths of your soul. You learn to surrender with trust instead of fear. And in that surrender, you find a strength that cannot be shaken by circumstances. You begin to realize that the struggle didn't weaken you, it awakened you. It connected you more deeply to Allah, clarified your purpose, and opened your heart to the kind of faith that stands firm no matter what storms you face. Trusting Allah, even when you don't understand the plan, is one of the deepest forms of faith a believer can have. It's easy to trust when life is smooth, when prayers are answered quickly, when blessings flow effortlessly. But the true test of your heart comes in moments when nothing makes sense, when doors close unexpectedly, when your efforts don't produce the results you hoped for, when situations unfold in ways you never planned. In those moments, faith becomes more than a word, it becomes a choice. A choice to believe that Allah knows what you do not, sees what you cannot, and is protecting you in ways you may not recognize right now. Trust is not about understanding everything. Trust is about knowing that Allah's wisdom is greater than your worry. There will be times when you ask for something wholeheartedly, and instead of giving it to you immediately, Allah delays it, redirects it, or replaces it. Not because He wants to disappoint you, but because He knows what that blessing would do to your heart, your faith, or your future. Sometimes what you want is not aligned with what your soul truly needs. Sometimes the timing isn't right, and giving it to you prematurely would cause more harm than good. When Allah withholds something, it is not rejection, it is protection. When He delays something, it is not neglect, it is preparation. When He changes something, it is not a setback, it is a setup for something better. Trust means believing this even when your emotions tell you otherwise. You may not understand the purpose of the chapter you're living, but Allah wrote it with perfect knowledge. He knows every turn your life will take, every person who will enter and exit, every blessing that will lift you, and every hardship that will build you. Trust grows when you surrender to His timing and stop forcing your own. When you learn to say, "Why Allah, I don't understand, but I trust you," a calmness enters your heart that the world cannot take away. You begin to walk with a different kind of confidence, a quiet strength that comes from knowing that your life is not in the hands of people, circumstances, or accidents. It is in the hands of the One who never makes mistakes. Trust also requires patience, not passive waiting, but active belief that Allah is working behind the scenes even when you see no progress. You may think nothing is happening, but Allah could be aligning the right people, preparing the right opportunities, softening hearts, or clearing obstacles you don't know about. Every delay has purpose. Every closed door has direction. Every unanswered prayer has wisdom hidden within it. Trust means holding on to faith during the silence, during the confusion, during the nights when your heart is heavy, but you still whisper, "Allah is with me." And trust grows stronger when you look back and remember how many times Allah has rescued you, guided you, healed you, and blessed you in ways you never expected. The same Allah who carried you before will carry you again. The same Allah who solved problems you thought had no solution will open paths you never imagined. When you trust even without understanding, you rise to a higher level of faith where your heart rests not in what you see, but in who you rely on. When you face pain, it's natural to wonder how anything good could ever come from it. But Allah has a way of transforming the very things that once brought you to your knees into the sources of your greatest strength. What looks like the end often becomes the beginning of a new chapter you never imagined. Pain has a way of breaking down walls you built around your heart, clearing away distractions, and revealing what truly matters. It strips you of illusions and brings you back to what is real, your connection with Allah, your resilience, your purpose. The same moments that feel like they're crushing you can become the fuel that pushes you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Allah never wastes pain. Every tear you shed is seen. Every struggle is counted. Every difficulty is recorded. Your pain becomes part of your story, but it does not define you. It refines you. There are times when pain forces you to grow in ways you never planned. When life is easy, you rarely question your direction. But when pain enters, you begin to reflect, to examine your choices, to reconsider your path. Pain challenges you to become better, to rise above old habits, to let go of what no longer serves your soul. Allah uses painful experiences to awaken you, to shift your perspective, to open your eyes to things you may have ignored. The heartbreak that devastated you may be the very thing that pushes you toward healing. The loss that shook your world may be what inspires you to rebuild a stronger foundation. The disappointment that stung your heart may be what redirects you towards something far greater than what you were holding on to. Pain also pushes you closer to Allah in a way comfort never does. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to drift, to feel self-sufficient, to forget how deeply you depend on Him. But when hardship arrives, your heart naturally turns to the one who never leaves. You begin making dua with sincerity. You find yourself talking to Allah more often, asking for guidance, seeking peace, longing for relief. Through pain, your connection with Allah deepens. You start to feel a closeness that you may not have felt before. And that closeness becomes a strength that carries you through every storm that comes after. Pain becomes a pathway back to Him, a reminder that your peace does not come from this world, but from the one who created it. And sometimes the power that comes from pain is found not just in what you learn, but in who you become for others. Your struggles can give you compassion for people who hurt like you once did. Your hardships can help you guide someone walking through the same darkness you overcame. Your experiences can become a light for someone who feels lost. Allah may use your pain to bless others, to inspire them, to give them hope that healing is possible. You become a living example of resilience, a reminder that what breaks you can also build you. Pain becomes purpose, and your story becomes a testimony of how Allah can turn the hardest moments of your life into the most powerful sources of strength.